On October 14th, 2015, Tesla released what they call Version 7, which was an over-the-air software upgrade to its famous all-electric car, the Model S. This upgraded millions of cars overnight. The update now allows Tesla to drive itself based on the cars and lanes around it. Even though it is not a complete or near-perfect autonomous car, it is a strong example showing us that the future is already here. After extensive research on the FSW databases and my interest on this subject, I have gathered many resources that explain the following facts about autonomous vehicles and the importance they hold on our future. The reason why I will talk about an autonomous vehicle today is that many of us here drive a car. Even for the people that do not drive a car, they do have to rely on some form of transportation that is affected by a motor vehicle in some way. After listening to my speech, my audience will be able to identify an autonomous car and the effects it will have on society in the coming years. In today's presentation, I will first explain what an autonomous car is and how most of them work. I will also explain the negative and positive aspects of this technology and how we will all be affected by it. First, I will explain what an autonomous car is and how most of them work, as well as give examples of a few of them that are on the road today. In order for you to understand the positives and negatives of this technology, you must first know these points about autonomous vehicles. According to an article called Road Rage, accessed on November 4th, 2015, an autonomous car is a vehicle that gathers data from the road, processes this data on board, and they can take action while heading towards a destination without the need of a human. It also needs to be able to reach a destination with little or no human input. The human should not have to take control of the wheel under any circumstances unless it is absolutely necessary. This means that hopefully in the future, a human taking control of a car will be more dangerous than letting the car drive itself. An autonomous car also has to consider the road conditions in order to deliver a passenger as fast and safe as possible. According to the article Google Car Moves into the Fast Lane, accessed on November 4th, 2015, Google's autonomous car can detect things like potholes and branches and then act accordingly. They should also be able to avoid pedestrians and follow traffic lights and emergency vehicles. The way autonomous cars work is by having sophisticated software sensors and the ability to reach the destination depending on how the manufacturer chooses to achieve this goal. All autonomous cars will work differently, however, and this is an example that some brand of cars will do better than others when they sell these cars. Just like today, how you might pay more money for a car that has more safety stars, in the future, the car that can think faster and has less amount of accidents will be the more popular one. This will also raise liability issues if one car has a potential to save your life but is less affordable. These cars can also be connected to other cars and have the internet so they can do lifetime decisions like taking a different route or know what time they will arrive depending on road conditions like rain or snow. The idea is to connect all cars and have them update road conditions depending on what one experience. This way road conditions hazards will always be up to date. Here are some examples of autonomous or semi-autonomous cars today and what they can do. The first is a Tesla Model S. It can follow a lane and maintain the flow of traffic by the 11 onboard sensors and computer onboard. The update that allowed it to do was done overnight, and thousands of these cars are now semi-autonomous. Even though the need for a human is still present, it is one large step for a near future and one of the only semi-autonomous cars you can buy right now. The Google car, according to the article Google Car Moves into the Fast Lane, the Google car has more than 700,000 miles of experience out on the road today that are driving alone. This car is trying to currently prove that it is safer than a regular car. Over the 700,000 miles covered in hundreds of vehicles, only one has gone rear-ended by a human driver. Another example is Nissan, which is teamed up with NASA for an autonomous technologies that could one day come to cars. They are testing technologies on rovers that one day will go to the moon or even Mars. Nissan could even incorporate this technology to cars here on land. Next, I will explain what some of the negative effects of autonomous cars are on society. While there's a lot of excitement generated when people think about autonomous cars, there are also still some negative effects and problems to its future. One problem is that humans will become too reliable on this technology and will never learn how to properly drive a car. Just like today, many people rely on cameras and sensors. My car, for example, has a camera that shows me what is behind me when I back up, and I sometimes feel safer looking at the camera and barely looking through the mirrors anymore, which in the future can be a bad thing. The ability for a human to be able to take back the wheel will not be present. This can be an ethical problem since a computer will never be the same as a human mind. Humans should still also know how to operate the vehicle efficiently if one day this would happen. A lot of jobs will also be lost with autonomous cars. Taxi drivers and chauffeurs will no longer be needed as the car can drive people by itself. According to the moral case for self-driving cars, a computer for now will never be able to act like a human and can make unethical choices. If an unstoppable accident was to occur, the choice a computer takes could be very unethical. Computers might be coded to favor the driver's life, so it could hit an innocent bystander, which is not fair to the bystander at all. One of the answers to this problem is artificial intelligence, but as of right now, there is really no way to fix this. Next, I will explain what some of the positive effects of autonomous cars are. We can look forward to some of the many benefits of autonomous cars in the very near future. Automobile deaths, for starters, will decrease exponentially, which is the main goal of autonomous cars. People under the influence will be able to get home safely, compared to today how they have to drive home and put other lives in danger. The car could also know where the owner's home is and know that they are intoxicated, letting them not drive. It could also know if the driver never returned to its vehicle and warn people about this. According to Road Funding Rage, there will be no rage and or lack of skills anymore because of autonomous car. If the computer sees that a driver is angry, it could take control until the driver calms down. Audi is experimenting with this technology today. Teenage drivers could learn how to drive while still knowing they are safe since the autonomous car is constantly thinking. Another reason we are excited for autonomous cars is that commutes will be safer and faster than ever before. Less car accidents mean less backup traffic, which is something that we really want with autonomous vehicles. No more distractions that cause backups on traffic or slow drivers. People with disabilities or of age will be mobilized without needing someone else. Today, blind, elderly, and disabled people cannot drive places safely, but because of autonomous cars, they one day will be able to. In conclusion, I hope that you know what an autonomous car and see how fast they are becoming part of our everyday lives. Today, I have explained what an autonomous car is and given examples as well as explained positive and negative sides to this technology. I hope that after my speech, you now understand how much this technology will change all of our lives in the very near future.